Hello everyone, and how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. I recently came across my Cambodia, Thailand memory card, so I unleashed all the videos and photos that I had taken on that trip. I asked you if you wanted me to make a video on a suggested itinerary for those places. So here is a 5-day itinerary for Cambodia. I went to Cambodia 2 or 3 summers ago, and I actually spent 5 days there. I went there after I had toured around Thailand for a bit. So this will be an itinerary based on 4 nights, 5 days. So in Cambodia, you can use the local Cambodian currency, but they would actually prefer that you use US dollars. So a lot of the places you go, restaurants, excursions, stuff like that, it's all listed in US dollars. Their local currency won't be rejected, but again, just use the US dollars. It's easier for everyone. I always book my hostels on hostelworld.com. Not sponsored or anything, it's just a very useful tool to get legitimate hostels that are rated by thousands of people so that you know what you're getting when you go there. We booked the Siem Reap Hostel for 4 nights. It's no longer listed on Hostel World. It was actually a really nice hostel and I enjoyed it a lot, and food was good and everything, but I don't know, it's just I can't find it anymore. It's just not there. But anyways, a lot of the other hostels in Siem Reap are very cheap, like you're getting quality. So the hostel dorms range from $3 to $20. Yeah, $3. And it's not like you're getting a hole in the wall for $3. Like, these are some of the places you can stay at. It's crazy. Like, they're so beautiful, and it's $3 a night. Like, how do they even make money? Like, I can't comprehend that. I know, something to do with the exchange rate and everything, but still, like, you're getting quality for a very low price. So again, before we go into the 5-day itinerary, in terms of transportation, we took tuk-tuks everywhere. It's rare that you'll see a taxi. I maybe saw like 1 or 2, but the main form of transportation there are tuk-tuks. There are no traffic lights. Most of the roads are not paved, and tuk-tuks are relatively cheap. You can like just wave them down if you're walking around anywhere. And for us to get to our hostel, to like the center of Siem Reap where all like the restaurants and nightlife is, it was $1. $1 US. Like, if I order an Uber here, it's like $15 to get to the end of the road. Like, it's crazy. Because everything's so cheap, make sure that you leave tips for the people that are giving you services, like people that take you on tours, people that give you ride in tuk-tuks. If you're at a restaurant and people are serving you, always leave a tip. Cambodians are the nicest, friendliest people, so it's hard not to leave them a tip. Also, it's rude, so just, you know, leave a tip. Don't be rude. And all these excursions I actually booked through my hostel, and my tuk-tuk driver, my hostel actually recommended him. Like, he was the nicest guy ever, and I couldn't be happier with him. We booked all our excursions with the hostel as well, just because I guess it's easier, but it's also, it allows you to know that you're getting a legit excursion and it's not going to be a scam. Again, in Cambodia, it's very rare like for you to feel like anyone is trying to scam you. But just in case you're worried about that stuff, hostels always like have those set up for you to book through them. You can also bargain at your hostels for like packages. So like if you're like, oh, I want to do this excursion one day and this other excursion the next day, like, can you give me a deal on both? I felt kind of bad asking for a deal. Like, I always bargain for things when I travel, but these excursions were so cheap that I was willing to just pay what they were offering. So day 1. So regardless of when your flight lands, you're gonna arrive, you're gonna settle into your hostel. Depending on which hostel you book, most of them do have airport shuttle access, so the tuk-tuk will actually come to the airport, pick you up, and bring you to the hostel. So you're just gonna want to arrive, get settled. You might be hungry, so you're gonna go eat. Places to eat. So in that main Siem Reap like central area, there's like a strip of restaurants. Those restaurants are a little bit pricier than some like local stuff you'd find there. But when I say pricey, it's like half the amount that you would spend in like US or Canada. Like, it's just pricey for the area. So for example, there was an Italian restaurant, Il Forno. Like, it was the best Italian food. Like, everything was like homemade. The pizza, the pasta was amazing. I know I'm in Cambodia, I should be trying Cambodian food, which I did, but like this Italian restaurant, a pasta dish was like $7, which is expensive for Cambodia, but if you order a very good pasta dish from an Italian restaurant in Canada, it's gonna cost you like $23. So again, expensive for the location, but not in general life. We also ate at a restaurant called Viva, which is a Mexican restaurant. It had really good drinks, so that's why we went there a couple times. Again, a little bit pricey for the region, but not too expensive in the general realm of things. If you're looking for more budget food, then you're gonna wanna go off the strip. Like, there's a couple restaurants like further out of the central area that serve traditional Cambodian food. Our hostel actually had really good traditional Cambodian food. They also like served burgers and stuff like that, which were really good, and like those meals were a couple dollars. So if you're looking for budget food, like try your hostel out, and they usually have the traditional Cambodian food as well if you want to try that. Also on the first day, you're going to want to plan your excursions at your hostel, like I said, and just like, you know, chill out. Maybe like walk around town, get a feel for things, or get a massage. Massages in Cambodia are like around $10 an hour. It's usually like that's the going rate in Southeast Asia, like when I went on this trip anyways, but like $10 for an hour, like that's insane. And these massages are like crazy amazing. Day 2, I'm gonna butcher the name of this, but we went on a Phnom Kulen National Park tour. Phnom Kulen. So this was about $30, and on this tour, it lasts like half a day to like a full day. It was pretty long, like 5-6 hours. We saw like some like monuments, like the big Buddha. We went on a Khmer Rouge tour where they told you a little bit about the history of Cambodia, which was really cool. We like saw a bunker where the leader of Khmer Rouge was hiding out, and like how it was gunned down. We went through a section where there used to be landmines. Like, it's completely safe now. Like, a lot of tourists go through there, so there's nothing to worry about. But I really like that aspect of it because I like to learn history of the area that I'm traveling to. And then at the end of that excursion, we went to a waterfall. It was like a beautiful, magnificent, very windy waterfall. It was very powerful, and I don't know if I've just never been that close to a waterfall. Like, I live relatively close to Niagara Falls. Like, it's a 2-hour drive, but like I've never been to the bottom of it. So like, I'm assuming that that's what it's like. It was hard to swim because like it was like pushing the current down, but it was beautiful, amazing. Like, it was a great tour. And that was only $30, and some meals were included with that as well. And they pick you up from your hostel and drop you off at back at your hostel. So you get home early enough from that to go see the Phare Cambodian Circus. Our tuk-tuk driver actually suggested this to us, like initially when we first met him. He's like, you have to see this circus, it's amazing. Tickets were $25. Again, he drove us there. It's not like Cirque du Soleil where they're like funded up they make do with what they have, and it was absolutely amazing circus. They're all so talented, and it was actually so moving that I cried. Like, I was like sobbing because I was just like so moved. Just go see it, you have to see it. Day 3. So you're gonna wanna plan this ahead of time as well, because your driver needs to book off the entire day to take you on this tour. It's the Angkor Wat Tour. So tickets to get into this are $37, but you're also gonna have to pay your driver as well to drive you around all day. I think we gave him around $20 each, but again, you're with him all day. He takes you everywhere, and like he devotes his entire day to you. We booked the single day tour. There's like a 2-day pass and a 3-day pass, and like we were so excited to see it, but we were actually glad we only booked the 1-day tour, because on the 1-day tour you actually go to 5 different temples, and like by the 4th temple you're like, okay, I'm done with temples. Like, they're all so beautiful and amazing, but like it's a tiring day, and like you're walking through temples and temples and temples, and like unless you're solely there to look at the temples, then one day is going to be more than enough to tour Angkor Wat. Again too, if you get home from all these excursions and you want to go clubbing, partying, at nighttime, the nightlife is usually Pub Street. So Pub Street is their famous strip with all the bars and the clubs and like the street nightlife. It kind of has New Orleans, like Bourbon Street vibes, but they're kind of more chill, if that makes sense. The club that we kept going to was called Temple. It had 3 floors, and they always like had live shows there. The bottom part turned into a club, and there was a rooftop for you to chill out on. They had really cool drinks, very good food. You can get traditional Cambodian food there too. Again, a little bit more pricey just because it's on the main tourist strip. And also on Pub Street, they have people walking around with tarantulas on sticks. Yes, like I'm sure this is just like a tourist, like, you know, when in Rome, when in Cambodia, eat a tarantula. It was like, it's more like a touristy thing, and like I don't think they actually eat tarantulas for dinner every night. One of the guys that we met at the hostel that later became our friend, he actually ate one of the tarantulas. On day 4, you're gonna want to book a tour to the floating village. So this is about $20, and again, the tuk-tuk driver picks you up from your hostel. You go, he drives you to the boat where the floating village is, and then you get on the boat and you take the tour. But along the way, our tuk-tuk driver stopped at an alligator farm, and we saw like hundreds of alligators. It was kind of depressing though, because after we saw the alligators, we actually walked through the store where they were selling the alligators as boots and purses. So then the floating village, you get on this boat and then you drive it to where all the houses are actually in water. So the only way that you can get to the houses is by boat. I actually got to drive the boat. It's not like a usual boat where like there's a steering wheel or like a pedal or like one of those things to like go. There was actually like a rope where your feet are, and you like push down on the rope with your foot, and then that's what give power to the boat. It was surreal, but it was a really cool experience. When you're touring around the floating village, they give you an option to also go see a sunken forest where like the bottom half of all the trees are in water. So you're basically like taking a boat through a forest that's like immersed in water, which is really cool, but that's an extra $5. So we actually did do that. It was worth it. And then our tuk-tuk driver drove us home, and then you can go just down to Pub Street, hang out, chill. Like if you don't want to drink, just walk around everywhere. Like it's nice vibes. On day 5, I'm not sure whenever your flight's gonna be, but maybe wake up early and go check out the markets. So in the same central area of Siem Reap, there's a bunch of outdoor markets that you can check out. They sell almost everything. I was trying to buy a scarf, and because I look like a typical tourist, like everywhere I travel, people always see me and they're like, tourist, let's raise the price 1,000%. So the lady I was trying to buy the scarf from was trying to sell it to me for $50. I mean, Cambodians are so nice, and I really wanted to just like, you know, give her $50, but I'm a poor student. I don't have that kind of money. So I did bargain with her down to $10, and $10 is probably still too expensive to pay for a scarf given like the exchange rate and everything. But you know, I was willing to pay. They're nice. They also have a food market. I'm a vegetarian, so some of the things in the food market were kind of disturbing, and I could have gone without seeing that. That's the price you pay if you want to go experience other cultures. I'm not judging. That is 5 days of exploring in Cambodia, the Siem Reap region. There's other like beautiful places you can explore in Cambodia, like up in the north. There's elephant sanctuaries as well, but we didn't have time to go to those things. Maybe, you know, in the future. But yeah, this is 5 days if you want to stay in the Siem Reap region. And if you do it correctly, it should cost you like no more than $200 for those 5 days. Generally, Cambodia is like in my top 3 best places that I've ever been to. The people are super friendly and happy, and like even though it's the poorest, like one of the poorest countries in the world, they just like seem like they have life figured out. Like regardless of their living situation, like they're just like joyful and happy and like friendly and like accommodating in every way possible. And there's just so much like beauty in that country. But again, because it's so affordable and everything is so cheap there, don't forget to tip the people that are giving you a service. Like everything is so cheap that you kind of feel like you're exploiting people. So make sure to tip. I'm gonna stop this video before it starts getting depressing. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and I will see you in the next one.